Greetings and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play / tutorial of Stellaris. Last episode we learned a little bit about ship design, ship components, how to use them. No particular reason, just a vanity project. There is no reason why we would care very much about our military. After all, we are all alone out there in the grand universe. This episode we will continue a little bit expanding, checking out some of the things that we might have missed so far in our near neighborhood. And let's see if we finally can find anyone out there in the vastness of space. What the heck is going on here? There is a tomb world and a megastructure. Ruined sentry array. Alright. Yeah. The sentry array is fun. It's one of the DLCs. I think there are 2 DLCs at least that include megastructures. So if you play the vanilla game, you won't see any megastructures whatsoever. Let me see if I'm going to. You know what? No, I wanna go survey up onto this system, and then this guy is going to do the excavation here. So the sentry array basically increases your sensor coverage of the surrounding universe. Oh, now we're talking. I think we might actually getting to know our first neighbor. We found a new life form called the Fiiiinally. If you don't know if this is against space fauna or anything weird, just go into the system as swiftly as possible before your ship leaves. Check out what, like, just the general size or like the general look of the thing. That I don't even know what that is. Okay, let's send our envoy. Is that a spaceship? No. I think it's a science vessel. I think it's someone else's science vessel. It looks a bit weird though. Someone used a mining laser from orbit approximately 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the surface of Asmor 3A. The massive script covers a large portion of the moon's upper hemisphere and appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. Okay, nice. So even more research from the system, my goodness. I think we are done with, the survey of this system. Again, similar situation. I want to go up to this point here, and then this ship would come back and investigate all the planets, all the systems that are within our domain. Our main leader just leveled up. Leader experience 20% is good. Let's go with this. I want the greatest leaders of all time. Both of our colonies are now ready to begin working. Do the same as I did on Olum Prime, building a machine plant so we can indeed build some robots there to make up for our low growth rate of our cyborgs. That's a science vessel. Flies from planet to planet, definitely. Okay, that means we are close to an enemy border, basically. Oh, look at that. During a survey of Hoop Black Hole, the ISS investigator discovered a previously unknown surgery resort dubbed dark matter. This exotic substance has many properties that seemingly defy several natural laws. It could potentially revolutionize the sciences. While we do not yet possess the means of extracting this resource, we should seriously consider establishing control over the system for future exploitation. Here we are, exploitation. Thanks for saving our theming, the theming of the episodes. So, unfortunately, we currently are unable to exploit dark matter. There is a technology required to extract dark matter, and when we get the technology to extract dark matter, we will also gain access to edicts that are going to use dark matter. So basically, there will be an edict at some point that does something and will cost us some dark matter. Dark matter, as all special resources, will be seen here. They, just like our other resources, you can have an income of them, but unlike minerals, alloys, and so on and so forth, they are very rare. Most of them will only be available in patches of like 1 to maximum 3 in very, very few systems. Some of them, the top 3, can be synthesized on planets with the correct resource technology. So the last one is, by the way, minor artifacts, which we can gain from archaeological sites. Right. At the moment, we have no use for this. We also cannot extract it yet, but I totally agree. It would be really, really good to make sure that no one is going to grab that planet, that system from us, and steal the dark matter. So I'm actually going to rush over here, ignore the 2 planets we haven't, where we can build outposts yet, just to make sure we keep the dark matter here. Give me a sec. As a rule of thumb, if you come across the first 3 resources, volatile modes, exotic gases, and rare crystals, they are worth having, but not really worth going to war over them. As I said, you can synthesize them with the correct technologies. The other ones, living metal, zero, dark matter, and nanites, they are very, very, very valuable. Although zero only works for empires that have psionic abilities. You could, like almost everyone that isn't a machine or a hive mind, can develop psionics in theory, but this is probably the least relevant of the very rare resources. So those can be. I would go to more stretches to secure those than the upper 3. All right. So last system towards north. Got something. Oh yeah, just more research. Here we go. Some more armor. We could also go for the robotic path, which is, I mean, makes kind of sense for us to try to get more out of this. The current benefit of this army damage and resource output plus 5% is not great, but I really want to unlock more stuff from the robotic path for obvious reasons. Heat from below. After probing beneath the surface, we have concluded the unusual heat signature of Lurus 4 down here, caused by hydrothermal springs that seem to be more on this planet than meets the eye. Sure. Can subterranean ocean modifier. I don't even know what that means. I'd say intriguing because I don't know what it means, and maybe it's good. Here we go. Subterranean. There is no anything here. Is there? Oh, it was this one, right? Continued exploration by the ISS Scholar has revealed the hot water coming from deep within the planet's crust is teeming with microscopic life. what we once thought of as an empty frozen planet actually contains a thriving underwater biosphere. Again, fascinating. Oh yeah, that gives us a bunch of society research, which is good. And right, that's it. Fine. It's fine. It's fine. So we replace unity with society. Sure. Our scientist. One of the science vessel scientists makes sense to get an even more survey speed. That's his job after all. Okay, fine. Let's build the one mining station, and once we're done here, we'll grab that system. Nice. And then we have a good second border, I'd say. I can actually already tell them to go here. Terraform candidate discovered. Yeah, there's another planet that could be terraformed eventually once we have the right technology, which is, yeah, sure, why not? We can start our agenda, which increases survey speed, which is nice. And our next agenda now is going to be... Yeah, let's go for more unity. More unity is good. Yeah, we definitely want this system, that system also as a border. Oh, an archaeology site, my goodness. Yeah, I already told you there is a ruined sentry array, which again we can also repair once we have claimed the system. It will be also super expensive. But it will be slightly less expensive than building an entire new one. Yeah. I am torn. I don't like any of the choices, but I think I go with food production because it's fairly cheap to research and will probably save up on agriculture districts, which are otherwise really boring. Oh, look at that. We found another alien life form. They don't seem to be very friendly though. Let's send our second envoy to find out who they are. But our starbase already figures they are hostile. It looks very much like a marauder faction, which means we don't even need to build a starbase here. Marauder factions, they are another DLC which I don't appreciate very much. Let me just double check which DLC that is. Give me a sec. Yeah, so the Marauders are from the Apocalypse DLC. I'm not a huge fan of that one. The more interesting stuff from that DLC is the inclusion of planet destroyers and Titan class ships. We'll talk about them probably a little bit later. The Titan class ship and so far are kind of interesting for us because they're basically the Borg cubes. They are not just big ships, but also kind of your forward shipyard, bridgehead kind of thing. The archaeological sites that we haven't really delved in yet are part of the Ancient Relics DLC, which is fine. But I wouldn't say it's a huge change to the it doesn't have a huge impact on the overall game. Megastructures like the Sentry Array are spread over several DLCs. The first megastructures are included in Utopia, which, as you might remember, is the kind of must-have DLC. Megacorp brings a few more, and I don't know whether the Sentry is in specifically, or the Quantum Catapult. I think they're both in Megacorp, but I don't know at the right now. Stuff like Vlur and Space Dragons are part of the Leviathan DLC. None of these DLCs are considered a must-have. Megacorps as a new government form, I probably is one of the stronger ones, I'd say. But Leviathans or Ancient Relics are really just up to taste. Right. So we did this, we did that. Great. I'm not going to build a space station, upgrade the space station anytime soon, because at the moment you might have seen this. The fleets they have, Marauders, are super strong in the early game, like way too strong in early game, and still in mid game they are very challenging. In mid game you could, with a greatly upgraded starbase and a good fleet, defend against them, but what they do, if they attack you, they just fly through, attack one of your planets, kidnap some of your population, and then leave again. So they are not going to invade your empire, they're not going to conquer planets, and they're aggressive to anyone. So basically they are defending my border against any other AI realm, meaning that even though we have way too many borders, this one is relatively safe. Right. So we surveyed this system. I really want to get at least up to here. This is relatively interesting. So it means we're just again rushing through. Like there was already, yeah, eight more planets to survey, and then we can get the system. I would check if we have time to build another space station here. We can colonize the tomb. Oh yes, of course we can colonize any world with a habitability of 100%, because the robot part of our race has a habitability value of 100% anywhere, which is interesting. We could send a colony ship only with robots here, and it's 16 is not the worst planet there is. I'm just checking the features. Society research bonus. It's not the worst planet there is. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Maybe not straight away, because still we could use some of that alloy for our quantum catapult, which is probably not going to help us that much anyway. It's more a fun thing to have. Anyway, give me a sec. Alright. We are still 3 more things to discover, but I want to rush. I want to get as swiftly as possible, at least to this system, better still to this one. It has quickly become apparent that the so-called P-aliens are in fact part of a major spacefaring civilization. Our probes in the Atlas system over here have detected starship fitting between an oceanic planet with which our scans show as supporting a considerable population, and various space stations across the system. We have been able to intercept considerable volume of communication traffic, but so far accurate translation proved elusive. So they already have claimed everything up this system, so we cannot claim the system anymore without attacking them. They have an upgraded space station here, same symbol here, you can see this. The defense is basically on this symbol. Those means that they're just this regular space station. In order to claim the system, here we don't have any symbol whatsoever. This means we have a planet here and a space station. This means we have only space stations, no further icons. And this means there is an upgraded space station, which, I mean, these minor space stations, they already have a fire combat value, or whatever they call it, to 16, which is misleading. They are really, really weak. Like, they have lots of hit points, but basically no firepower. Those ones, they can end a fleet. 724. This is closer to like their real combat value. So that means with this, we probably have a tough time. I don't know if they even tell us how strong it is. Oh yeah, they give us an estimate. That's nice. So we need to probably wait a little before we can attack them properly. And I'm now going to stop saving up resources for our catapult, because we soon will have a neighbor that is hopefully ripe for assimilation. So we can, now this is one of the rare cases where you actually interact with the first contact. The reason why we have this is because we decided that our stance towards aliens should be hostile. Otherwise we would always play it safe, right? Keep at it. But now we have the opportunity to just abduct specimens. I mean, why not? I barely ever do this, and I'd say, why not? I'm going to abduct specimens sooner or later anyways. I do hope they are not robots, otherwise we cannot assimilate them. That would be really bad. And they will hate us for this, most likely. Right, so that means we are basically done with surveying in this direction. And this is our archaeologist, so let's head back to our first archaeological site. Right, I'm not sure if we can make it here. If they claim the system before we do, then it's gone basically for us. Well, for the time being, right? We will expand in this direction, hopefully. Which one is it? Yeah, I have to leave it for now because we need to survey the system first before we can go for the anomaly. But we're almost done with surveying. That's good. Alright, I will slow down the speed to like regular, slow down the game pace to regular speed, just for the time being. And I want to upgrade our fleet. Yeah, we can already, okay, so this icon here means, you can also see this in the outliner, that there are upgrades for ships available. Let me check on one thing real quick. Are we researching something? Yeah, we're researching fusion reactors. In 6 months they're ready. So I will no, I'm not going to wait. We saw this is the improved deflectors. All of the ships, all of the corvettes don't have the improved deflector yet. They still fly around with their cheap level 1 deflectors. So I am going to tell them to fly to the next space station capable of building ships, which is the space station that docked at anyway, and get an upgrade. This goes really nicely with this just one click of a button, and you can see how they are upgraded one after the other, depending on how many shipyards you have on your space station. Right, so now we can add further ships to bolster up our military strength here. Let's start with just 2 ships. Also, I'm going to raise some armies. You can do this on a space station or on a planet. On a planet, it's on the Army tab. There's a recruit button, and then you can recruit armies, and usually they are immediately deployed in orbit. You can remove that tick, then they would be deployed on the planet's surface. All the armies, all the attack armies on the planet's surface can then be sent to the orbit with the embark all button. The armies that already are here are the defensive units. They are built automatically from certain buildings and just from population. You don't have to worry about them, they don't cost any upkeep. But they can also not be embarked into orbit and sent anywhere else. They stay here and they fight if the planet is being attacked. So let's build a few armies in orbit. We have two types. Oh yeah, either we send our drones or we send our robots. I think they have pretty much the same combat values. If you hover over them, yeah. Oh no, actually, the drones are slightly better. Okay, the drones do more damage, but the robots are not affected by moral damage. You see, you have regular damage and moral damage. Moral damage can make troops retreat during combat. I'd say I don't care about moral damage at the moment too much. Usually, if you don't have military units that are specifically or like specifically high moral damage, then it's unlikely that it's going to affect the battle very much. And I don't think our enemies have this. So let's go with the regular assault armies. I'm not overdoing it right now. I just want to have a base once the aggressions start, to not having to build everything from scratch. Right. Another event that just continues. We don't have to do anything. I don't even bother reading it then. Although I should probably have read it because it would have told me that these are most likely marauders, pirates, or whatever. Sure. Wait, did we finish our survey? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, we already did it some time ago. My bad. And after this system, you're going to build an outpost in this system. I could have gone to this system directly. You know what? Actually, let's do this. This is what I meant. If I build an outpost here, cost me 135 alloys and 75 influence. If I build here, alloy cost is the same. The influence cost is higher because it's not connected to the rest of our territory. I'll pay those extra influence points gladly, because if I don't do this, there's a chance that our neighbor is claiming it, and I want this actually to be our bridgehead, the starting point for our invasion. Pacification of our leaderless neighbors that really would benefit from the warm embrace of the collective. So now we have the fusion reactor. Yeah, there is barely any reason not to go for more research speed, especially when it's so cheap. All right, I think that's it for today. We finally met our first neighbors, our first civilization. Very likely we're still in the first contact phase, but given that they have ships flying around and space stations, it's very, very likely it's another AI empire. We already built a purely defensive fleet, or increased the size of our purely defensive fleet, and already in preparation build a few transport ships full of helpful cultural ambassadors for when we finally make proper introductions to our neighbors. Next time, I'm fairly sure we will find out who they actually are. Also, we're going to finish very likely the first contact with the guys in the northeast, and then we know what's what. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. See you again next time. Bye bye.